Hello friends, in this video I'll tell you how to write amazing TAT responses. Now to do this you have to prepare yourself at two levels. First is at the level of thoughts, mansa, which is within you, and once you get the things correct within you, you have to now express it using your pen on the sheet of paper. So that is expression of thoughts. So two levels of preparation: at the thought level, that's mansa, and then at the expression of thought level, where you require language to express what you've understood. Now in this video I'll take an example where I'll give you a picture, tell you how to observe it at the background, at the foreground level, at the level of number of characters, there's dress, taking inputs from the surrounding, and then weave what led to the situation, that is by establishing a cause-effect relationship, and then clearly define what led to the situation. Now I keep getting large number of queries from boys and girls कि क्या सर हर स्टोरी में एक प्रॉब्लम जरूरी है. Well, problem जरूरी है या नहीं है, that's a different thing, but definitely there has to be a situation. Question is, are all situations problem, or are all problems equal to situation? That will have a separate discussion on that, but definitely a situation is required which has to be handled then by your main character along with his subordinate characters. So there is a requirement of a situation. I'll give it through a couple of examples here in this video itself. Thereafter, having established what led to the situation, which is equivalent to defining the problem, the next step comes problem solving step, which is the what is currently happening, and clearly the options, the evaluation of options, conflict resolution, decision making, discriminatory skills, implementation, follow-up, and then finally achieving the goal. These are the various stages. Achieving the goal is the final outcome. So these are the various stages through which your story has to move, and I've already made a separate video on this, problem solving skills, developing problem solving skills karke. So if you're not already watched that, the sequence is given there, do watch that. So we will see how to weave amazing story each and every time, but to do that I told you you have to correct it at two levels, thought level and at the expression level. You will get a clear-cut idea in this video. Okay, that is one. Next, in case if you wish to go through the full psychological test and its video based assessment on the same way in which I'm going to do it here, you're most welcome to contact me at 9090099035, and I'll put you through the entire psychological test, that is consisting of 12 TAD pictures, including one blank, 60 WAT, 60 SRT, and the SD. That is to be written in 15 minutes. And thereafter, this you can give it at your own time. And thereafter, I'll go through it and give you a time, and we can have an interaction and discuss each story, not only at the writing level, at the thought level, that what has happened and why certain things are to be corrected within you, so that you are able to write amazing story as you all wish to do that. So contact me on this number, I'll get back to you. Also, those who wish to attend the AFOSOP Composite 2 weeks offline batch at Pune, you can do that. Fresh batch starts every Monday. You don't have to ask me. All you have to do is just give me a call and tell that on this Monday you are reporting for this class. No advance fees payment is required. You can do spot registration after reaching here. In case we need accommodation for outstation candidates, I'll give you the number of one Mr. Samadhan Patil. Contact him and he'll do the needful. And to register for the 2 weeks AFOSOP offline composite batch at Pune, again give me a call at 9090099035. Once again, let me tell you, every Monday the fresh batch starts. So don't have to ask me. All you have to tell me is on this Monday I'm coming. In case you wish to attend a demo class on any of the Monday, you are also most welcome to attend the same, and then you can take a call whether to join or not. So you'll get 500% clarity, that's an assurance. इसके अलावा pre-recorded videos of AFOSOP are available at courses.ganeshbabu.in, courses.ganeshbabu.in. So the video that I'm going to show you now, similarly there are about 10-15 videos available, so you can go there and see for those at courses.ganeshbabu.in. In case you have any problem, you can call me at 9090099035 for assistance. So let's look at this video, which will tell you how to write amazing stories. And once you go through this, request you to kindly comment If you like it, do share it with your friends. Tell me what difference you're finding when you compare this video with many of the other tips and tricks people are giving. If you compare with that, what is the difference you're finding here? If you're not already subscribed to this channel, do subscribe, and request you to share this with a friend. So watch this video. Okay, let's take this third picture in the psychological test series T83, and we will see a sample story. Now when this picture is presented, let's understand the process, what happens. This picture is presented to you by the psychologist. You take this picture in through your eyes and it goes inside and you do some processing. And this processing happens at two levels. At the first level, you process this information inside you. That's your mansa. That's the creation of idea. What led to the situation, what is currently happening, and what is the final outcome. This must first get created within you. And in the second level, this is expressed in the form of a written document by you using the language, that's your written language skills, and is presented in the form of a written document. So what the psychologist presents to you is called the stimulus, and what you give him back is called the response. And between the stimulus and the response, you have the freedom of choice, and that freedom of choice happens within you. That's your mansa, which the psychologist wants to understand or know, and then correlate it with the qualities that they are looking for. And that's the inner process. So input, stimulus is given, you process it within you, that's your mansa, and the process outcome comes in the form of response. What the psychologist gets your response, but what is interested to know is your inner process, that's the mansa. Mansa is the Gangotri and response is the Ganga. Now this Ganga can be karma, vacha, mansa, but the process remains same. So for this picture, let's see how to observe this picture, because if you don't observe this picture correctly, then the input, stimulus itself will not go correctly into your logical thinking process, and then उसके कारण पूरा जो आगे का chain of events है, thought process है, वो पूरा गलत हो जाएगा. So observation is the first step for you to take the input or the stimulus from the world outside to the world inside. So let's see how to observe the picture clearly. If you look at this picture carefully, you can see it is a forested area, thick forested area, and if you observe carefully, there is an elephant seen in this picture. The back of the elephant is to the right of the picture. The hind leg with the tail is clearly visible. There is a rope going below the tail, and if you observe carefully, the rope is probably tied to the saddle which is on top of the elephant, on the back of the elephant. The front of the elephant is not clearly visible because it is covered in the forest. Only the hind leg and the tail is very clearly visible, and a rope going below the tail. And if you observe a little more sharply, you can see there is a person sitting on top of the elephant. He is facing backward, that is, his face is facing to the right of the picture, whereas the elephant's head is moving to the left of the picture. This person is wearing a hat, probably white. You can, if you observe, you can see the hairs between his hat and the collar of his shirt. If you observe clearly, you can pinpoint the nose, you can pinpoint the eyes, you can see his chin, you can see his neck, the shirt, the outline of the shirt, both from the back and the front, hands folded, is wearing a full shirt, and then on the saddle you can see the color changes from white to black. That's where the trouser starts, and he is sitting with folded legs. You can see the right leg. You can also see a white spot between the elephant and his folded legs, and then you can also see part socks and the shoe. The left leg is not visible, which is on the other side, and is looking backwards. And since he is looking backward, there has to be at least one person who is looking in the forward direction, and rest everything is, majority is dark here. indicating thick jungle. There are scattered white patches which are showing the sky through the jungle or the trees. So let's see how many of you got it correct. And the psychologist, when he asks what led to the situation, what is currently happening, and what is the final outcome, definitely the psychologist wants to know where is this elephant going, what is it doing in the jungle, why this person sitting in the back looking backwards, and what is the event that they are going to encounter, they are presently encountered, and what action they will take based on whatever the incident they encounter, and what will be the final outcome. Many people in this picture write story about organizing picnic after the college or the company break. You go, you have vacation, so you go there, book a ticket, ये करते हो, वो करते हो, and then last में आके elephant ride करते हो. That's not the way it has to be handled. And many people miss the elephant, or many people are able to identify the elephant but miss the man. So they all have to be identified. So let's see what have you observed and how you handle it. So we saw how to observe the picture clearly. In fact, for all the 12 pictures of the psychological test जो assessment के लिए दिया जाता है, it is given in the courses.ganeshbabu.in. I'll suggest you to go and watch it so that you get an accurate understanding how these stimulus has to be observed. Only then the perception will be built. Now in this subsequent videos, let's see, having I observed the picture correctly, how to create the cause-effect relationship and establish what led to the situation. This we will do it in the form of a actual response, which is an acceptable response, in fact a highly acceptable response. So you can use it as a benchmark to see what is your level of thinking and what is the level of thinking being presented by this candidate, who happens to be a NDN 10+2 candidate, merit list 1 type ka hai. So let's see what he writes for this picture, and let's try and understand what is his thought process. He says, Ram and Lakshman were 2 forest guards on routine rounds in the jungle. So on the given picture, he creates 2 characters, Ram and Lakshman. The tasking is they are forest guards, and what are they currently doing? They are doing routine rounds. Where are they doing? In the jungle. How are they doing? It's not given. In fact, the picture we have seen that they are on the elephant, but it's not mentioned here. So we don't know what is the mode of doing the patrolling, but it's clear that there are 2 characters, Ram and Lakshman. What is their relationship? They are colleagues. Where are they working? They are working in forest department. What is their position? They are forest guards. What are they currently doing? Routine round in the jungle. What do you mean by routine round? Routine round का मतलब होता है that they are doing certain activities which is every day carried out, and today also they are doing, and if they continue doing this routine round and if nothing happens, then the story goes flat. That means this routine, if it continues for the entire duration of duty today, there is nothing going to come out of it. What does it mean? To understand that, we'll see the next line. This routine must break. That's the introduction of the situation. So let's see. Once again, let's read it. Ram and Lakshman were 2 forest guards on routine round in the jungle. Let's see what happens further. While they were crossing the river on the elephant, they heard a rifle shot. This is the rifle shot. So now this is very interesting. It says while they were crossing the river. The first question is where is the river? And second is on their elephant. So the elephant that was missing in the first line has now been brought into. So all the elements of the pictures are covered. Ram and Lakshman, 2 forest guards. Tasking is routine rounds in the jungle, and they were on the elephant. And news input has been added that while they were crossing the river on the elephant, they heard a rifle shot. So the question is, where is this rifle shot heard? Look at this rifle shot. This is introduction of the situation that needs to be handled. The question is, where is the river and where is the gunshot? Because this is the given picture. In this given picture, all you can see is an elephant walking through the forest. One person is sitting looking backward, and there we assume one looking forward. So to understand where is the river and where is the gunshot coming, let's observe this picture at the bottom and expand it to the left, because that's the direction in which the elephant is walking. So look at this. The forest is being expanded to the left and the elephant is slowly moving in that direction and it reaches the river. So that's a and while it is at the river or it is about to cross the river, it hurts a gunshot. That's the way it has been built up. So the elephant, which was at the back on the right hand side, has moved forward and has reached the river, and while it was about to cross the river, it hears a gunshot. Look at this picture. So the elephant is moving forward towards the left direction, reaches the river, and it's about to cross when it hears a gunshot. That's the introduction of the situation to be handled. अगर इस स्टोरी में ये गन शॉट नहीं होता, so today's duty by Ram and Lakshman would have remained routine, and at the end of the routine duty they would have gone and handed over the elephant to the next duty people and they would have gone home and nothing would have come. So one question that people keep asking is why situation is important. Like in this case, the rifle shot. What happens if the rifle shot is not there? To give you an answer whether a situation is required or not, first the answer is yes, it is required. Why it is required? Now to give this, I'll give you 2-3 examples. If you remember the movie Lagan, you remember this scene when Captain Russell says to Bhuvan, cricket match खेलने के लिए शर्त मंजूर है. And if Bhuvan says शर्त मंजूर नहीं है, the movie does not, you cannot build up the movie. And why Captain Russell remembers Bhuvan? Because there was an incident where he was trying to shoot a deer or some chinkara, and then Bhuvan throws the stones and disturbs the hiran. So that incident was the reason because of which Captain Russell remembers Bhuvan. Otherwise, in this movie, even though Bhuvan is the hero of this movie, not even Raja or Captain Russell, but who was the most powerful person in the movie? Captain Russell. So Captain Russell had the positional power because he was captain of the British Army. Maharaja, he was also holding a position, but in his own country he was, though Maharaja, but not as powerful as Captain Russell, because हम एक गुलाम भारत की story बनाए थे. And Bhuvan was completely insignificant till that incident happened where he was disturbing the chinkara and Captain Russell comes and puts the gun on him and says, shoot you, but he does not shoot. That incident, he remembers Captain Russell, and when Bhuvan along with the villagers and the Sarpanch went to the Raja for Lagan maaf karne ke liye, accidentally Bhuvan happens to, Captain Russell happened to come there and he observes Bhuvan and then he says, get up. लगान माफ करना पॉसिबल है, प्रोवाइडेड क्रिकेट मैच जीतना पड़ेगा, दुगुना लुगान तिगुना लुगान, all those stuff we know. And at the end of it, if Captain Russell says शर्त मंजूर है and if Bhuvan says no, the movie would not have been built. So it was very important for that particular scenes or the sequence of event to happen. It was also very important that Bhuvan says शर्त मंजूर है. Only then the movie is built. So situation is important. In this case, शर्त मंजूर है is equivalent to the rifle shot in the jungle while they were crossing the river. If no rifle shot, the story remains routine. Second, so that was the situation to be handled in the movie, and this is the situation to be handled in this TAD story. So situation is important. Let's take another example. Chak De India. Kabir Khan was captain of the Indian hockey team and we had a match going on with Pakistan, and Kabir Khan takes a penalty shoot and he misses it. Because he misses it, there were some incidents and because of which he was turned Gaddar. And then Kabir Khan was a man of integrity. He wanted to get his Gaddar name wiped out. So the entire movie was, how did he do that? And how did he do that? He took Team India, that women's team, put his entire energy for the betterment of the Team India, because he knew if Team India wins, he wins. And if he wins, that Gaddar name will be removed. So that missing of the goal with Pakistan was important. His getting branded as Gaddar was important. Only then the movie could have been made. अगर वो गोल हो जाता, इंडिया जीत जाता, पाकिस्तानी उसको शाबाश देते, हाथ मिलाते, गद्दार नहीं बोलते, मूवी नहीं मिलता. So that's the significance of this rifle shot. So situation is important. Now, how to create a situation, all that's given in the courses.ganeshbabu.in, because in many pictures there is no स्ट्रेस गिवन, कोई सब कुछ सही है तो उसमें कैसे सिचुएशन डालेंगे. देयर इज अ डिफरेंस इन पुटिंग प्रॉब्लम्स एंड देयर इज अ डिफरेंस इन putting situations not necessarily always a problem. So we'll see. So it is important. Let's take some life example. Arunima Sinha, this girl was pushed by some loafer ladke log from a running train, and she her leg got chopped under the train, and because it got chopped and her determination surfaced because of that incident, and today we know her as the mountain girl, and she climbed not only Mount Everest, so many other peaks in the world because that incident happened. Had that incident not happened, she would have been happily married with 2 kids today. So incident like that made her visible to the public domain. Similarly, Wing Commander Abhinandan, had his plane not crashed into Pakistan, we would not have known Wing Commander Abhinandan. So that incident in his life was important. So this is the rifle shot in the story. So we know these 2 persons due to the situation they faced. So Arunima Sinha, if she was not pushed, and Wing Commander Abhinandan had his plane not fallen to POK and all those things that happened subsequently, you and me would not have known him, and their qualities would not have emerged because the situation was not there. So there is a requirement of a situation for you or your characters to get engaged with the situation, and in the process their qualities would emerge or manifest. So it is important. So I hope you've understood what I'm trying to say. So please understand, in this story, the start, Ram and Lakshmana were 2 forest guards on routine round in the jungle. The creation of Ram and Lakshman, the creation or the giving them the title, they're the forest guards, giving them the tasking, they're doing routine round in the jungle on the elephant. Your statement that they were crossing the river on the elephant when they heard a rifle shot, everything is a creation of your imagination, and this imagination is happening within you. This imagination is happening within you, and whatever you're imagining, you are making that imagination play on the paper using the paper characters, that is Ram and Lakshman. So Ram and Lakshman are the manifestation of what's happening within you. So if you think properly, Ram and Lakshman will act properly. So the sequence in which the whole TAT is happening is, in the sabse pehle the stimulus is presented which makes you or which puts you into the thinking process. So सबसे आगे क्या चल रहा है? The stimulus. So सबसे front में what is this? The stimulus. The stimulus goes inside you, and then your mansa starts. So the mansa follows the stimulus, and this mansa in turn creates a paper character Ram and Lakshman. And Ram and Lakshman के action को who is observing? The psychologist. So look at the loop. The psychologist gives you the stimulus, and you in turn gives you the action through Ram and Lakshman, and psychologist observes the action of Ram and Lakshman and understands the mansa of yours, or tries to understand. So the psychologist gives you the stimulus, you give him the paper characters Ram and Lakshman. Psychologists observe Ram and Lakshman's action, and he gets 2 input: the stimulus that he gave, the response that you gave, and the left is the process that happens in the mansa. So he needs to understand the process that's getting created in your mansa, and whatever is the mansa, that process is happening, that value system, belief system, attitude, need, he correlates with the so-called OLQ, and if it matches, you get recommended. If it does not match, you don't get recommended. So it's a whole stimulus response model, and in between the process, you make the process better, your response will become better, and your chances of getting recommendation will be high. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली आप मानसा पे काम नहीं कर रहे, आप राम लक्ष्मण के एक्शन को ठीक कर रहे हो, बट राम लक्ष्मण का एक्शन सारे कॉन्सिक्वेंस ऑफ योर थॉट. आप अपनी सोच को अगर ठीक कर लोगे तो राम एंड लक्ष्मण अपने आप ठीक हो जाएंगे. मुझे बताना मैं क्या कहना चाहता हूँ, इसके ऊपर जरूर कमेंट्स लिखना. सो लेट्स सी, इस राइफल शॉट के बाद व्हाट actions Ram and Lakshman are going to do, and understand Ram and Lakshman are the paper characters, and their actions are actually first created in the mansa of the candidate, which the candidate by his use of language skills put it on the paper. So let's see how do you build up. Ram and Lakshman were two forest guards on routine round in the jungle. While they were crossing the river on the elephant, they heard a rifle shot. They immediately turned towards a gunshot sound direction. Now the action they shown is that Ram and Lakshman immediately turned towards the gunshot sound direction. Question is, why did they turn? Please understand, the gunshot was heard by Ram and Lakshman while they were crossing the river, but this gunshot was created by the candidate, so the candidate knows who fired it, but the Ram and Lakshman don't know who fired it. For them, this is a situation for which they have to do their what led to the situation. क्या मतलब है? Because the paper character मतलब Ram and Lakshman are following the candidate's mansa. Candidate's mansa मतलब the writer of the story knows who had done the firing, but Ram and Lakshman are not aware who has done the firing, because Ram and Lakshman are paper character. They are following the mansa of the candidate. क्या समझ में आया लिखना? Now, Ram and Lakshman के लिए first thing is to identify ये गोली कहाँ से चला, and then they have to decide इसके ऊपर एक्शन क्या करना है. Whereas candidate already knows क्या फायर किया, he already knows how will they go and detect it, he already knows what action Ram and Lakshman will be taking, because he has created the whole thing inside. He is only expressing it through the paper character. क्या समझ में मुझे बताना. So let's see आगे क्या लिखता है. So they immediately turn towards the gunshot sound direction is with the intention कि they want to find out ये गोली कहाँ से चला. Ram called up the control station and informed them of the gunshot. Now look at this. Out of Ram and Lakshman, Ram ने क्या किया? Control station को call किया. Alpha 1 report over. कैसे किया नहीं बताया. ये क्या इसने मोबाइल यूज किया है या कुछ और यूज किया है, वो यहाँ पे नहीं दिया. अगर वो भी एक चीज लिख देता, it would have been very nice. Mobile would not have been working because of the forested area. But when you go to patrolling, generally people carry इंडिया में मोटरोला सेट्स होता, रेडियो सेट. तो यहाँ पे अगर ये लिखता है राम ऑन रेडियो, अगर यहाँ पे राम ऑन रेडियो लिख देता तो बहुत बढ़िया होता. राम ऑन रेडियो कॉल्ड अप द कंट्रोल स्टेशन एंड इन्फॉर्म देम ऑफ द गन शॉट. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज, व्हाई डिड ही इन्फॉर्म? बिकॉज ही ओनली हर्ड अ गन शॉट, ही डज नॉट नो हु हैज फायर्ड. नाउ आई एम श्योर यू वुड हैव अंडरस्टूड किस लिए किया होगा. दिस इज प्रिकॉशनरी और अलर्ट करने का इन्फॉर्मेशन है कि सर हम लोग नदी के पास है और दक्षिण दिशा से गोली की आवाज़ सुनाई दी है. उन्होंने पूछा होगा कंट्रोल ने, कुछ पता चला? सर कुछ पता नहीं चला, जैसे ही पता चलेंगे हम बताएंगे. सो दिस वाज ए वार्निंग और अलर्ट किया है उनको कि सर ऐसा ऐसा हुआ है, आप अपने टीम को तैयार रखो, बिकॉज they don't know what they are going to encounter once they go to the site from where the gunshot was fired. It may be manageable within their capability, or it may not be manageable, but the control would have ensured by then that their quick reaction team, QRTs and other patrols, all those would have been alerted. They would wait for accuracy in information. Right now the information accuracy is not there, because they only got an information that gunshot has been heard, but they don't know from where and who had done it. That information is required, only then they can act. Right now it's little fuzzy, that it's little unclear, only gunshot hai. Now वन पॉइंट, अगर ये गन शॉट किसी फॉरेस्ट वाले ने किया हो तो फिर खोदा पहाड़ निकली चाहिए, बिकॉज राम एंड लक्ष्मण विल फाइंड आउट एंड दे विल फाइंड कि इट इज वन ऑफ द कलीग्स हु हैड फायर्ड फॉर सम रीजन. द स्टोरी कैन नॉट बी बिल्ट अप बिकॉज नाउ देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट. दे विल अगेन टेल द कंट्रोल के सर वो अपना फॉरेस्ट वाले ने फायर किया, सो नथिंग टू वरी, एवरीथिंग इज ओके. सो इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट, गन शॉट इज fired by a person who is illegal, only then their action will come, Ram and Lakshman का. Otherwise उनका action की जरूरत ही नहीं है. So let's see how does he built up. So they heard a jeep buzzing off with few persons in it. So when Ram and Lakshman went a little more further investigating after making the call, उन्होंने क्या देखा? उन्होंने एक जीप देखा जो बहुत तेजी से एक some direction वो जा रहा था, उसके अंदर कुछ लोग भी थे. Now clearly this is a third dose of stimulus. The first was the psychologist gave this picture. The second dose was that you heard a gunshot. The third dose is you heard a jeep buzzing off. Now this jeep buzzing off with few person in it. Now this is the accuracy of information on which you can act. But problem is you are on elephant and they are on jeep. So there is a resource mismatch. So what do you understand by resource mismatch? मुझे बताना. Resource mismatch का मतलब the resource that the people with who fired the gun, that's jeep, and the resource on which you are traveling is elephant. The mobility of elephant is lesser, much lesser as compared to the mobility of the jeep. So they have a resource advantage as compared to Ram and Lakshman. So that's one. Now they heard a jeep buzzing off with few persons in it. तो उन्होंने कुछ लोगों को देखा और एक जीप बहुत तेजी से गया, and definitely there is a resource mismatch. Now राम ने पहले ही कंट्रोल स्टेशन को बताया था, बट उस टाइम ओनली गन शॉट का बताया था. अभी गन शॉट को क्रिएट करने वाले सोर्स का भी पता चल गया. सो लुक एट द नेक्स्ट लाइन. Ram again on radio alerted the control station, other guards and the gates. So all these things the candidate is thinking, but is making Ram and Lakshman to act. So Ram and Lakshman are the puppets and candidate is the puppeteer. तो puppeteer की सोच के मुताबिक राम लक्ष्मण नाच रहे हैं. तो आप अपनी सोच को ठीक कर लो, आपका TAT ठीक हो जाएगा. So let's again come back. Ram again on radio alerted the control station, other guards and the gates. So this is the second time Ram is calling the control. First time it was only problem symptom कि सर एक गोली की आवाज सुने. This time it's not only problem symptom, this is also the cause. Problem cause has been identified. कि राम ने इस बार क्या बोला होगा, सर हम लोगों को वो जो एक जीप दिखाई दिया काले रंग का है, वो ईस्ट की तरफ को जा रहा है, बहुत तेजी से गया, उसमें 2-3 लोग भी है और हम उसका पीछा नहीं कर पाएंगे क्योंकि हम एलिफेंट में. और ये बात उन्होंने ना सिर्फ कंट्रोल को बताया, दूसरे गेट्स को भी, और दूसरे मतलब इट वॉज ए फ्लड कॉल, सभी के लिए गया हुआ था, सो दैट एवरीबडी इज अलर्टेड. एंड लुक एट द नेक्स्ट लाइन. दे लॉस्ट साइट ऑफ द जीप. राम एंड लक्ष्मण को जीप दिखना ही बंद हो गया. क्यों दिखना बंद हो गया? नेचुरली बिकॉज जीप का स्पीड फास्ट है और राम एंड लक्ष्मण हाथी को कितना भी तेज भगाए, हाथी का स्पीड तो लिमिटेड है. सो हाथी कैन नॉट बी टर्न इनटू ए ड्रोन कि एलिफेंट इन ड्रोन मोड और एलिफेंट उड़ रहा है. दैट्स बाहुबली स्टोरी. नाउ दिस इज अ वेरी वेरी रियलिस्टिक स्टोरी दैट राम एंड लक्ष्मण लॉस्ट साइट ऑफ द जीप. आप सोच के देखो, आपका हीरो या जो भी है, हीरोज जो भी है, जिन लोगों ने ये पूरा इनिशिएट किया था, उनको अभी जीप दिखना ही बंद हो गया. दैट्स अ वेरी पावरफुल लाइन. दे लॉस्ट साइट ऑफ द जीप. बट प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट्स हैपनिंग इन द नेक्स्ट लाइन विल make you realize how powerfully this candidate is written. Look at the next line. However, the jeep was intercepted near the eastern gate by other jeep mounted patrol. What does it mean? They did not see the क्या बोलते हैं jeep because they were on elephant. But since they have activated the control, the other gates and the other guards, this jeep by the poachers or whoever was intercepted at some gate, eastern gate, by some other jeep mounted patrol. That jeep के अंदर राम लक्ष्मण नहीं थे. राम लक्ष्मण तो पीछे रहेगा on the elephant, but they initiated the whole process. So team activation हो गया. It is team का activity शुरू हो चुका है. So however the jeep was intercepted near the eastern gate by other jeep mounted patrol. So intercepted करके उनको पकड़ना. So the ultimate aim of not allowing these poachers and the jeep to go out of the jungle was the aim, but the means adopted was not कि मैं खुद ही पकड़ूंगा. The team involved. So the aim was to make sure the jeep is intercepted and stopped. But who does it? Not me. The team. क्योंकि मैं मेरी क्षमता के बाहर हो गया है, but टीम की क्षमता के अंदर है. Cooperation, sense of responsibility, coordination, everything has come into this play. However, the jeep was intercepted near the eastern gate by other jeep mounted patrol. Very powerful line. 4 person along with a dead black buck was recovered from the jeep. है ना, 4 लोगों को भी पकड़ लिया. उसके अंदर एक ब्लैक बक भी मरा वाला मिला. क्यों मरा वाला मिला? क्योंकि वो पोचिंग करने के लिए आए थे. And they were handed over to authorities for further investigation. किसने दिया? राम लक्ष्मण का तो स्टोरी खत्म हो गया. सो राम लक्ष्मण के ड्यूटी के दौरान ये गोली की आवाज़ आई. गोली की आवाज़ सुनने के बाद राम लक्ष्मण ने सर्टन एक्टिविटीज़ किया. करते 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 एक स्टेज में उन्होंने एक जीप देखा, उसका इन्फॉर्मेशन दिया, पूरी टीम को एक्टिवेट कर दिया. बट खुद रिसोर्स मिसमैच के कारण उसमें डायरेक्ट एंगेज नहीं हो पाए, बट पूरे सिस्टम को एक्टिवेट कर दिया और टीम ने जाके इसको पकड़ लिया. Finally, the goal of Ram and Lakshman was to ensure that these people don't make the exit from the jungle, and they ensured it by doing whatever they did. Even though they were not the one who caught it, they ensured they got caught because of activation of the team through control and direct communication over the radio. A very powerful story. मुझे नहीं समझ में क्या आया. Any word that you don't understand in this, kindly let me know, and we will see कि कौन सा line है जो आपको समझ में नहीं आता. It is the responsibility of the candidate to make sure that the psychologists understand each and every word that you express with clarity, and that will only happen when you as a candidate are clear what you want to communicate. Only then there will be clarity in your expression. Pen is like a printer. प्रिंटर की गलती नहीं, प्रिंटर तो वही प्रिंट करेगा जो फीड दोगे, और फीड इज योर मानसा, और उस फीड को ट्रिगर देने का काम है पिक्चर, जो कि स्टिमुलस बोलता है. स्टिमुलस, प्रोसेस एंड रेस्पॉन्स. तो प्रोसेस को ठीक करो, रेस्पॉन्स ठीक हो जाएगा. प्रोसेस को ना समझे बिना रेस्पॉन्स को चमकाते रहोगे टिप्स एंड ट्रिक्स में, दैट विल नॉट वर्क. सो मुझे बताना क्या समझ में आया. एंड इन टर्म्स ऑफ OLQ, very high degree of reasoning ability, very जबरदस्त प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम्स इन. उनको अपना क्षमताएं पता थी, उनको पता था कि किस हद तक मैं कर सकता हूँ, किस हद तक मुझे टीम की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. टीम को समय रहते एक्टिवेट कर लिया, मतलब गोली की आवाज़ के टाइम से एक्टिवेट कर दिया कि सर ऐसे ऐसे हुआ है, मैं नहीं पता कहाँ से किया है, किसने गोली मारा, लेकिन प्लीज़ अपने क्यूआरटीज़ को रेडी रखो. और जैसे जीप का पता चला, अगेन उन्होंने एक्टिवेट किया. उनकी क्षमता से बाहर चला गया क्योंकि वो लोग जीप में थे, बट तब तक टीम एक्टिवेट हो गया. तो राम एंड लक्ष्मण का दैट टाइम, स्पीड ऑफ डिसीजन, एक्यूरेसी, डिटर्मिनेशन, everything was perfectly balanced. Their team को जिस तरह से एक्टिवेट किया, the sense of responsibility, social adjustment, adaptability, you can see everything playing. They were not selfish कि हम ही पकड़ेंगे, and they were not coward to say कि यार गोली की आवाज़ है यहाँ से भाग लेते हैं. So I want to have some feedback from people, and please have a comparison how you write and how this story has been written, because it's a very powerful story, and every line conveys something. That's the way you have to write. So do post your comments and do share with your friends. Okay, so I'm sure you would have made certain inputs and certain clarification would have got through this video. Do post your comments, share it if you find it useful with your friends, like it and subscribe it if you've not already done that. And in case you wish to join the 2 weeks composite class for 500% clarity, fresh batch starts on every Monday. You have to contact me at 9090099035. Send me a WhatsApp message. I'll get back to you with the details. Thank you, and may God bless you. Thank you very much.